Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be the first in a new series I'm doing where I'm going to be revisiting old palettes. So it's really hard to use older palettes on YouTube and get views, but I have, about 100 palettes in my collection and I am not bringing as much in because I just feel like I have too much and I really want to use the things that I love. So I'm going to be doing this series where I revisit older palettes, some of them fairly recent, some of them a little bit older, to get some more use out of them. I use a lot of these off camera a lot, but I want to use them on camera more, and some of them I just don't feel like I get to as much because I'm using something else to film with. So the palette I'm using today is going to be the Club Nebula palette from Kaleidos. I haven't used this in a little while. It's been a couple months at least, and I've just been wanting to use it, so I might as well do it on camera. So I'm gonna do a look, the rest of my makeup's already done, and just play with this and talk about it a little bit as I play. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Colin. I am a non-binary Latinx scientist and lover of makeup with a special interest in indie makeup and high-end makeup. And I tend to take a pretty analytical approach to my reviews and my collection as a whole. And I have new content every week, so I'd love to have you subscribe. Okay, so this came out, I believe, in 2020, maybe early 2021. I don't remember exactly, but this is a collaboration palette between Angelique Nyquist and Kaleidos. They're one of my favorite brands. She is a YouTuber that I really respect, and watching her, she was one of the people that I watched a lot before I started my channel and inspired me to start my channel. So I really love this palette. I really wish this was a permanent palette in the Kaleidos line. So this was in my If I Could Only Keep 10 Palettes video. I just love this. I love that it's got warm tones and cool tones in the same palette, which is something that I really appreciate. Makes it a little more versatile, gives you a little more creative options. And then you've got, peach, red, you've got these really beautiful cool tones here. You've got blue and greens, which I really love, and it's got really beautiful toppery shades. So I love this palette, but I haven't used it since partway through 2022, and it's now early 2023. So I want to play with this and I'm excited to. So I think I'm going to do a blue-green look just because blue is my favorite color and I really want to use this top row. I've used the middle row, I think, the most in this palette, weirdly enough. But yeah, I'm feeling this. It's raining. You might hear the rain. It's like I'm sitting in front of our only windows and this window right here is covered in water now. So it just feels appropriate to use blues today, even though I'm wearing a very springy shirt. And the rest of my makeup, like normal, will be in the description box. It's kind of my everyday base options, except for today I used the Nars foundation. I don't grab it as much as my Haus Labs because it's not the perfect match. It's like a little too golden, but it still works, and I really like the way my face looks today. And then for my lips, I'm wearing one of the Kaleidos lip clays. This is the shade Sienna. It's from the original launch. I only have the first two little bundles that they came out with. I haven't bought the new ones. There's been 3 rounds of them. I really want them all. This is one of my favorite lip formulas. It's just one of those things where I haven't made an order just for lip products, and I haven't made an order from Kaleidos in a while. So I do want to get basically the rest of them. I really love them. They're really comfortable and they have some really beautiful shades. They're like a velvety soft matte without actually being too matte, and they last really well. They're really beautiful. So I just primed with some Urban Decay eye primer, my go-to, and I'm just gonna go in. So I haven't placed a Kaleidos order in a while. I do want to get their new face sculpting contour palettes. The medium looks good. It looks very cool toned. But the tan one I also kind of want because it's olive undertoned. So it's less neutral, and it would, like, the bronzer in that would be better. The brightening powder would be better since I have olive undertones. So I haven't bought them because I kind of want to. So I'm going to start with Gravity, the green shade, and I'm going to put that on the inner part of my crease. I just feel like having like that little pop. And I'm just going to use the palette as my mirror. I really love Kaleidos as a brand. I think they do really interesting stuff. The formulas are all really lovely to use. This is one of my favorite palettes of all time. I don't think I've ever done a ranking, here are my favorite palettes, although, because if I could only keep 10 as kind of my favorites, but also kind of, I need to keep a well-rounded palette. So it's not really just my favorites, but it's kind of a favorites. Ranking things is hard. Being a neurodivergent person, a neurodivergent Libra makes making decisions difficult. Really love this palette. The last thing I bought from them, I think, was the Flower Punk palette. I really like that palette. That was maybe last summer. And then the stuff they've come out with since has been like the multi-chrome eyeliners, which I wanted, but I don't have to buy, and the quads, which look beautiful, but like I don't really wear quads very often. I just find them kind of limiting, so I haven't ordered from Kaleidos in a long time, and they have stuff I want, but it's just like, when I have like a very limited set budget every month for makeup in my channel, it's kind of hard to get everything I want, even if I really want it. I'm going into the blue shade now, and I'm gonna put that in the other part of my crease. And just kind of tap these next to each other. Yeah, every time I use this palette, so when this came out, I had tried the brand, I believe, but this was like the first big thing I got from them. This might be the first thing I got from them, I don't remember. But I used this nonstop for like 3 or 4 months. It was all I wanted to use, and really helped me get away from just using like ColourPop and drugstore makeup and realize how good indie shadows can be. It was my first really foray into these like more toppery multi-chrome shades, and it's still something that I really love and use periodically, but like there was a while where I was like, okay, this is the only thing I've really used for 3 months. I need to like put it away and use something else. And then since then, my collection has just grown so much thanks to my channel. Well, I mean, like not just thanks to my channel, but in part because of my channel. I don't buy things just to review. I buy things I want, and I was buying a lot anyway, because I wanted to try formulas and try things and try colors and see what I like. But my collection has gotten like, it's not out of hand. I'm about 100 palettes, and there are still some things that I want, but I'm kind of in refinement mode for the last 6 months or so, where it's like I'm bringing in less and decluttering stuff and like finessing what I have, where it's like I want less things and more nice things. So also the fact that I'm not working at the moment, I'm not teaching right now, so I don't have an income. So until I get a job, I'm doing this in an odd order today. So until I get a job being an academic, so until I find a job, I'm on not a full low buy, but like my budget's basically, like I'm not on a no buy, but it's like very little things. I try to shop with purpose in general, but even more so right now, just because I don't have money coming in, that much money coming in, and this channel doesn't make very much money because I'm so small. Also, my dog is snoring next to me, so you might hear her. She's extra sleepy. We took her for a long walk yesterday, and then my best friend came over and we watched TV and hung out for a couple hours. And she loves my best friend more than us, I think. So she was tired last night, and I think still is. But that's, I think we went, it was maybe a mile walk or something. It wasn't super long, but when you're, like 12 pounds and this big, it's a pretty far walk. These blues are blending together so nicely. It's one of those palettes that every time I use it, I'm just like, I'm just reminded of how good it is. And so far I've only used one brush. This is a Refer 13. I just felt like using a small brush for this. I could have started with the dark blue and kind of worked my way out, but I'm liking the shape that I have and I like the colors, so I'm happy with this. I will finesse the edges and stuff with another brush at the end. So I'm just gonna go repeat the dark blue on this side and I'll be right back. Okay, so I had to pause filming for a minute because of a phone call. But all I did was, oh, hi Bean, did you wake up? I went over with a fluffy brush with no product on it around the edges, and then I put a little bit of the dark blue here. I think I was doing that when the phone rang. But really like this look. I haven't done a very dramatic, colorful look in a while. I've been very much, I feel like I've just been very much into neutrals and like grungy tones for months and months now. So it's refreshing to do something bright and colorful. It's just not my everyday anymore. But I'm just taking a little bit more of the blue, the light blue, and putting it right here on my lid, just because I'm gonna use, I think the shade Firefly on my lid, and that's, I think a little bit of a transparent base. I'm gonna use glitter glue, but I wanna have a little bit of color down here too. I'm just putting the same colors that I have in my crease on my lid. So I'm gonna put a little bit of glitter glue down on my lids. I find this helps with, especially these kind of shadows, the little more sheer sparkly ones. Some of these, like Firefly, I've definitely worn by itself. Like I put bronzer on my lid or in my crease and I put Firefly as like a wash with my finger. That's a different look. Because I have bold mattes on, I want Firefly to be a little more opaque. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of glitter glue on both lids. This is my glitter glue brush. That's all I use this for because it gets gross quickly. You can use your finger to tap out glitter glue too, but as someone with a lot of textural issues, especially for sticky things, it's not my favorite. So I will not be doing that. And then I'm just using a Refer 21, which is my favorite brush for shimmers. And I'm just picking up a little bit of Firefly, which is the green in the corner. I could have also done Astro, the blue, or probably even the purple, but I don't like monochromatic looks that much. And so having this pop of green, something that I wanted to do. I might use a little bit of the blue right here to bridge that gap. I really do want to try the quads from Kaleidos, but I just don't use quads very often. But maybe I'll grab one of them one of these days. I don't know. I wish they were releasing more because I really love their formulas. And then I'm just gonna use a little bit of the Astro Blue shade right here to kind of bridge that gap. And then I'm just gonna use a pencil brush and take a little bit of Nova, I think, on my lower lash line. Okay, so eye look is done. It's for mascara and stuff. So I'm gonna go off camera and do that. I really love this. I really love this palette. When I go back to palettes like this, it just reminds me of why I love it and why I am so happy I have it, you know? And that's why I wanted to do this series in the first place, was for me and maybe for you. So if you need that inspiration to grab old things, you have that. So I'm gonna go throw some mascara and stuff on real quick and I will be right back. Okay, so I'm back. I threw on a little bit of eyeliner and mascara. I put a little black on my tight line because I feel like when you're doing something this dramatic and colorful, you need that like darkness around your lash line to really help contrast it. And then I have a little bit of the light blue minty shade from Haus Labs on my waterline, and then my mascara. And I really love this look. I do love doing these kind of looks. I just don't do them on a regular basis anymore, on a daily basis, I should say. Just been very much into earthy tones and like grungy neutrals for months and months now on a regular basis, or just eyeliner. But since I'm playing with Angelica's palette, it feels very appropriate to have a bold, colorful look. Also, it's Drag Race Day. Feels appropriate to have a sparkly, bold look for Drag Race. So I'm very happy with this. Really like the way this turned out. And I'm really glad I played with this. I've been wanting to play with this palette, especially these blues and greens, for a while. I just haven't had the time. But that's why I want to do this series, is there's so many palettes that, like, sometimes I use them off camera, but some of them I don't use as often as I would like. And I need this little reminder of why I love the palette, why I have it, why it's one of my favorites. Or maybe it's been, so there's some palettes where it's been like, 6-7 months since I've used them. So I need that reminder of like, why do I have this palette? And so I definitely want to do more of these as a way of using the products that I actually own. That is something that I've said that before, but that is a goal for my channel moving forward. I feel like last year was the first year of my channel, and it was, I ended up just reviewing too much. I've always liked reviews and reviewing products because I'm a scientist. I like to compare and analyze things, but sometimes I can go overboard, and then it was like, well, now I have too many things. And I've also tried a lot of brands and a lot of formulas in the last year and a half, 2 years. So I have a good understanding of what I like, what I don't like, what I gravitate towards. So moving forward, it's more about like refining what I have. So let me know in the comments below if you like the video. Also, like, if there's any palettes that you would like me to do a video like this on, especially older palettes, as long as I have it, I'd be happy to. So I will happily take suggestions. I already have a little list of ones that I want to do, but I'm happy to add to that or rearrange things to also make things that you want to see. So if you have this palette, I hope you still play with it often. It's so good. This is one of those where I almost bought a backup because I love it so much. But makeup does expire eventually, and like with how many things I own, even though I've used this a lot, it's gonna take me a while to go through it. So I'm also glad I didn't buy a backup, but I wish it was permanent so that when I do hit pan on things or it goes bad, I could. Also want to say again, and I've said this when I've used this palette before, like, just congratulations to Angelica, one, on her growth on the channel that she's had, that she can do it full time now, the collabs that she's had. This is still my favorite, and I just think this is like, I know I'm not the only one that this holds a special place for. So let me know in the comments your thoughts, what else you'd like to see, all of that. Thank you so much for watching. As always, remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.